Dear coffee friends from around the world, my name is Luis Saldanha. I am a Brazilian agronomical engineer specialist on specialty coffee production. It is with great pleasure that I'm here today to talk about the summer season and its impacts on coffee physiology and the management of the culture. The summer in the Southern Hemisphere begins around December 21st with the Summer Solstice, when the sun radiation incidence is perpendicular to the Tropic of Capricorn. It's the longest day in the Southern Hemisphere and extends until the Autumn Equinox around March 20th, when the sun radiation incidence is perpendicular to the equator line. The summer is the hottest season in the year with warmer temperatures, biggest amount of sunlight incidence, and biggest amount of rainfall. That's the perfect period for biomass accumulation in the coffee culture. We are going to discuss some insights and some aspects about the coffee physiology and the management of plagues, diseases, nutrition, and weeds. It's also really important that during this period of pruning the coffee trees, we make the selection of the right productive branches in order to restructure the coffee architecture of the plant. So the right techniques on selecting the branches and managing the coffee plant architecture will assure the success for the upcoming crops. Between 45 and 120 days after the blossoming period, the coffee tree begins the phase called fast expansion of the beans. Its demand for water and nutrients may increase by 5 to 6 times, and it's really important that the plant has no hydric or nutritional stress during this phase. This is the phase that's going to define the final size of the seeds. On Arabica coffee, it's common during this phase that because of an effect between source and sink that some of the beans may fall from the tree. This may scare some farmers around the world, and it can be increased if some climatic stress or nutritional stress is caused to the plant. So a good program of phytosanitary management of the culture needs to be in place in order to assure we have the best productivity in the crop. As a matter of fact, in order the phenological phases and the physiological events of the coffee tree may be attended, a series of good practices need to be implemented in order to optimize the interaction between the genetic material and the environment. The idea is to assure at least 20 square centimeters of leaf per bean, so the coffee tree will be able to fill the beans and to keep growing and storing organic matter. The nutritional program is one of the key factors to allow the coffee plant to better use the summer season. Beginning with a really good soil analysis to check the nutrients that may be provided by the environment, passing through the evaluation of the productivity of the plants, and crossing with the environmental conditions that may increase or decrease the availability of the nutrients for the plants, we can use leaf analysis to check how the plants are being able to better use the nutrients from the nutritional program and its availability from the system. A good nutritional program needs to use the Liebig law concepts in order to provide a well-balanced amount of all nutrients to the plants according to its requirements. Different sources of nutrients may be used during the year, like organic matter, chemical fertilizers, sub-products of the coffee-producing farm, like wasting water, the coffee rusk, even the parchment when compounded. It's really important to understand the plant requirements and how the system is being able to make these nutrients available. Another interesting sources are intercrop cultures that may be used to recycle the nutrients and make them available to the plants, organic compounds, and more recently, biological products that can be used in order to increase the availability of some nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen, for example. No matter what sources are being used to provide nutrients in the nutritional program, it's really important to make inspections in the field to check how the plant is being able to use these nutrients or not, avoiding deficiencies and assuring the plant the better conditions to not have stress during the growing cycle. Summer meteorological conditions of high moisture and high temperature bring a huge challenge to the coffee culture because of the incidence of plagues and diseases that, if not well managed, may bring a lot of losses in terms of the quantity and the quality of the leafy area, so as the quantity and the quality of the coffee cherries. Always important to emphasize the necessity of the implementation of an integrated system to manage plagues and diseases in each farm. A key point is the recognition and the understanding of the insects and the pathogens that may cause damage to the culture, so as the environmental conditions that may be good for their development. Two examples of plagues that may attack and cause damage to the coffee plant during the summer are the coffee leaf minor and the coffee borer. The coffee leaf minor is a small butterfly that will put its eggs on the coffee leaves, and its larvae will consume the foliar area of the coffee trees. The better environmental conditions for the coffee leaf minor are high temperatures and low moisture, and the damage can be really high, taking the decrease of the production for this crop and the other one. Among the strategies to manage the coffee leaf minor are using chemical products that are more selective to the natural enemies, like wasps, that are really efficient on making the control of the coffee leaf minor. The coffee borer is a small beetle that will attack the coffee fruit while in development. It will make a small hole in the crown of the fruit to put its eggs, and it will develop inside the bean. The damage is tremendous because first we will have a decrease of the dry matter of the bean, but also we will have an opening between the inside part of the endosperm, the seed, and the environment that may cause the attack of different microbes that may decrease the potential of the quality of the cup. As the coffee borer has the ability to enter in diapause, using beans from the previous year to wait until the new crop, cultural methods are really important to manage this plague. So a really well done harvest with the repass, avoiding any beans staying in the plants or even in the soil, is fundamental to improve the control of the coffee borer. Biological control, for example, using nowadays with Beauveria bassiana and also Metarhizium, also have really nice results, and the utilization is becoming more and more common for different farmers around the world. According to the meteorological conditions of the year, different diseases may attack the coffee tree. Among them, we may mention the coffee leaf rust and the Cercospora. The coffee leaf rust, caused by the fungi Emileia vastatrix, prefers temperatures between 21 and 23 degrees Celsius and high moisture. Its incidence is going to be more severe in plants that are weak, in high productivity fields, in shaded fields, and in genetic materials that are not tolerant or resistant to the disease. The correct management of this disease is fundamental by the use of tolerant or resistant genetic materials, or by using the correct chemical products, as the disease, if not controlled, may cause the loss of the leafy area that will cause damage to this crop and the upcoming crop. Not only reducing the production potential of the plants, but also decreasing the quality potential because of the improvement of the ethylene synthesis by the plant and decreasing the development period of the cherries. The cercosporiosis is another disease caused by a fungi, the Cercospora coffeicola, and it's really common to occur during the summer. Its occurrence is correlated with periods of higher incidence of sunlight, lower moisture, or when the plants are weak because they have less leaf area to protect from the sunlight, or even when we have an imbalance between the nutrients, principally when potassium is unbalanced with nitrogen or when potassium is unbalanced with calcium. This disease may damage both the leaf area of the plant and the fruit, and may cause losses in the productivity and also in the quality of the production by decreasing the period of maturation of the cherries. Finally, the same way the environmental conditions of high moisture, high temperature and sunlight may be used by the coffee tree to grow, they can be used to produce biomass inside the production system. For this finality, different kinds of plants may be grown between the coffee rows in order to recycle nutrients, storage carbon dioxide, decrease the temperature of the soil, improve the structure of the soil if well managed. We need to pay attention to avoid competition for water, light and nutrients between the weeds or these plants and the coffee tree. Dear friends, the summer is big responsible for the success of this and the next harvest. We need to have in mind all the details and the good practices that need to be applied in order to respect coffee physiology and phenology. And know that several coffee farmers in the Southern Hemisphere keeping working really hard during summer in order to make our specialty coffee chain sustainable. A big hug and wish to see you very soon. God bless us. Bye bye.